Yorkholo Brewing Company, named after my family's dairy farm, which was established in 1861. And as you can see, the face everywhere is my grandfather, Ralph York. But when we were thinking of a brewery name, we decided to try to keep the legacy going. We found that like the brewing process is almost like a dairy farm. You got your stainless tanks and you're making a liquid. The grains farmers take to feed to their cows after we're done brewing with them. So it's, you know, somewhat the same, but apples and oranges also. Like I said, I started drinking craft beer, and my mother owned this building. And she's always enjoyed the Bullfrog down in Williamsport. I love the Bullfrog down in Williamsport. And she always had the idea of having a brew pub here. So, you know, me enjoying craft beer, I was like, you know, I should look into how hard it is to make. And I started home brewing a little bit and really enjoying it. And then I was like, I wonder if there's schooling I could do for this. And I looked into it, and everything that I was going to college for really lined up with going to brewery school. So like the chemistry, the biology, the microbiology, like all that stuff kind of benefited me to be a brewer. Actually, she's around here someplace. She's my business partner. She helped me along the way.
Nice.
Because I just like brewing beer. She's a business part of everything. I like to think of it kind of like almost like a farmhouse type. You know, some of the stuff is you'd find in a farmhouse, and I like farmhouse ales. And you know, the Yorkholo farm. It was a beautiful building, and then with my brewing experience and like Ashley's management and business experience, that just kind of you know, it's all about location. And this just seemed like a perfect location. When my mother was in it as a beauty salon, it was all framed and sheetrocked. So we started tearing down the walls, and we found this beautiful brick, and like this is the original flooring. We tore up the fake tile and everything, and then we found that archway. And I'm a bit of a minimalist, so I didn't really want to do too much of anything really. So we just cleaned the brick off, kept the same flooring. Obviously we had to sand it, and you know, put a bar in. First starting off with blonde ale. Everyone just wanted, I'll have the blonde ale, and that was a little too much for them. I couldn't sell an IPA at all. So like I stopped brewing an IPA, and kind of catered to the crowd. Blonde ale, raspberry wheat, you know, the beers that are more like, I don't want to say like gateway beer, almost like gateway drug type scenario, but like, you know, people were afraid of dark beers, and then you do a nice porter that's balanced and not too heavy. Obviously, you're not really bitter at all, and you give them a sample of that, and they'd be amazed because all they knew was Guinness. You know, like, oh, I thought Guinness was, you know, all dark beer was like Guinness. So you get someone to drink something dark, and then they come back and they're like, yeah, I'm enjoying this dark beer, and I've tried other dark beers, and you know, got them hooked. It's been a challenge, but now, I mean, you go next door, there's a lot of craft beers. The next town over there's craft brewery, so people are really catching up to the time. The water here would lend us towards doing the darker beers were better. You know, and historically, that's where the breweries survived. Throughout history is they didn't really know the water chemistry, but they were luckily in the right place at the right time to open a brewery there.
What impression that your grandfather gave you that you still carry with you today?
Probably hard work. You know, farming is not easy. And I think he passed away, he was 92. And he was, you know, out there tossing the hay bales around all the way up to like 90 years old, easily. Just the love of the farm. When we were little kids, we would just walk around the farm with him. And he would just tell stories about different areas. Like when I was a kid, this happened here, or we used to do this here. And that just had a huge influence on my life to when we took the name Yorkholo, it's like, what do we use as a logo? And it's like, when I always think of the farm, I think of my grandfather Ralph. So I was like, oh, we should do like coming of his face in a way, just to kind of stand for like a quality, and also the whole farming aspect of it.